Hello, this is going to be the pick a card reading for April 2023. We've got 3 piles to choose from today. Please go ahead and just go with whichever pile you are initially the most drawn to. That's usually the one for you before you have to think too much about it. If you are drawn to more than one pile, then there might be messages for you in each one. Feel free to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Today we have for you pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. In each of these piles, we're going to be discussing the 3 main spheres of your life, your outer world, your career and public reputation, your inner world, which is your close circle of friends, family, interpersonal relationships. Oh, sorry about that, guys. And then yourself, your own personal growth and spiritual development. So we'll be taking a look at each of those things for each of these piles. Go ahead and feel free to hop to the video, part of the video, pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3 that you choose. All right, this is going to be your reading if you chose pile 1 for the month of April in 2023. So we're going to be taking a look at each of the 3 main spheres of your life, starting with career and public reputation, that outermost sphere. For April, you have the King of Swords, the King of Spheres or Pentacles reversed, and the Hanged Man. All right. So you have some decision making to do this month. You are currently in some sort of position of power or authority. There is a decision that you get to make this month involving your career, public reputation. You need to take some time weighing out the pros and cons, the benefits of these decisions, the possible alternatives, because there is a potential for corruption in here. There's a potential element of corruption here, where if you're not careful, you could choose a path that favors short-term gains over long-term stability, and you may put yourself and your career in a difficult position down the road if you don't weigh this option carefully. So for the most part, there's basically an important decision to be made in your career this month that will determine future financial, material stability. In your close interpersonal relationships, we have the 5 of Spheres. We have the Queen of Spheres. We have Strength. And we have the 8 of Cups. So you have been going through some financial hardship or found yourself put in a financially difficult place. It may be because of someone who is close to you, or the situation may just affect them and tie in closely to them. This month you are pulling up your strength and you are taking the power back in that situation. You're doing a lot of work to get your finances in order. And it's interesting that this does not show up in the career area. When I talk about you're getting your finances, your material things, which could be cleaning, managing your house, running food schedules, something has been off balance, it's been a fight, you are getting those material things in order, you are stepping into your strength and your power, and you are moving away from the things that no longer serve you. So whether that's maybe bad habits, bad spending habits, like emotional spending that maybe affected your household, there's several different ways that this could go. It could also be that someone was taking advantage of your finances and that you are stepping into your strength and removing that person, that aspect, that emotional pull that has been draining you and putting you in a difficult situation. But all in all, you are basically taking control, reestablishing control of your financial situation when it comes to your close interpersonal circle. Something has either affected this or been affected by it. And you are putting in the work to fix that this month. Whatever difficulty came about there. So for your personal growth and spiritual development, we have the 4 of Cups, the 6 of Wands, the 3 of Spheres, and the Magician. Okay, so you are in need of emotional nurturing. There is like this inner need to be calm, to be fulfilled, like you've been struggling and you're feeling the weight of that. You need some sort of a reprieve from that on the inside this month. But you do need to be assured that you will be successful. You've put the hard work in, you're going to get there. Again, through spheres, you are going to see results with everything that you're building, especially because these spheres, these pentacles, link back to the material world. You are building something that is helping with that situation. You're actively working on the growth that you need for this other area of your life. And the Magician, you will be able to create whatever you need to. You can harness all of the materials, all of the resources at your disposal to create the reality that you desire. And you're stepping into your power with that this month. So this is a very powerful month for you in April. And you are going to be making a lot of important decisions. And you're going to be getting a lot of your material ducks in a row, a lot of your material things in the material aspects of your life in order, especially where it involves the people closest to you. I hope that helps you out this month, pile 1. If you would like some more information on how the smaller details of each of these areas of your life play into the bigger picture of what your soul is learning and the lessons that you're walking through this year, then please see down in the details or at the end of the video the Tarot Wheel of the Year reading that I did that's going to provide a larger context. This is kind of like the microscope. We're looking in more detail, and then that's kind of zooming out the larger picture. So if you combine those, that might help you to gain a little bit more clarity on how this is showing up in your life. And what it's meant to teach you. And then there's also an extended version of that one if you want to dive a little deeper into each of the months. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next month, pile 1. All right, if you chose pile 2, sorry guys, getting into my spot here. If you chose pile 2, this is going to be your reading for April of 2023. First, we're going to look into the outer sphere, the area of career and personal reputation. Then we're going to take a look a little bit closer into your close interpersonal relationships. And then we take a look inside to the more subjective view and your experience of this month, as well as your own personal growth, spiritual development journey. So for career and public reputation, that outside sphere, we have the 10 of Swords reversed, the 7 of Pentacles reversed, the 6 of Wands, and the Lovers. Okay, so the effort that you've been putting in your career or public reputation, it has not been paying off. There should have been, I do this diligent hard work, I put this effort in, and then I reach the reward at the end. That's when this is upright, this staircase leading up. You take the steps and you get to where you want to be. But that has not been happening for you. You're done with the despair. You've been put into a point where you've just been completely broken down by this. You've put in everything that you were supposed to, and you did not get the payoff. And you cannot stay in this adversity much longer. You're ready to walk away from it. You're ready to stop the fight. You're moving away from this adversity and towards something that you love instead, towards something that is going to be more aligned with you. So perhaps if you were with a company where you were putting in more and more effort, and you were not seeing that reciprocated, that was not being valued, you are going to perhaps find a new position, a new company, a new direction where that effort that you put in is going to be reciprocated. It's going to be a mutual partnership where you're putting in the hard work and you're getting the reward, because that's not what's been happening in the past. Now, you may still be struggling through this month with this realization, with initiating this change, but you know that this is the direction that you're going, and you're going to at least start making strides in getting there. and this is as far as career and public reputation. So that's pretty big for this month. That's pretty big. Here we're gonna look at close interpersonal relationships. We have the Three of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Son of Swords. Okay, so you are making decisions in your close interpersonal relationships. You might be a little bit impulsive with it, but you're using your intellect, and you may have been weighing the options out before. So this again depends on your journey and where what you've been building up to, where your circumstances approach this energy. And if you want to get more detail and insight into that, you can check out the Tarot Wheel of the Year reading, where I talk about the major themes and lessons. So if this is a kind of microscope detailed view of each month, that is kind of zooming out the bigger picture, your soul's lessons that you're learning through these patterns. So that may help you interpret where you're approaching this from, or you may just know because you've been doing the work, you've been living it. So either way, you are making decisions this month. Whether it's you've been stuck in a position of weighing out the decisions and you're finally moving ahead, or you've got this spark of inspiration and you're jumping into it. And it may be a little bit of both. Maybe you've been hanging out and weighing it for a little too long, and finally you decide to take the action, and then it's rapid. Then the action is happening swiftly. But either way, this is going to lead to an immense amount of emotional fulfillment. This decision that you are making this month with your close interpersonal relationships is going to lead you to a massive amount of inner emotional fulfillment, not just for you, but for all of those around you, for all of those in your inner circle. This is going to be a great thing that you're finally deciding and acting on this month. Okay, let me move these around a little bit. All right. And then this is your inner experience, or your personal growth and spiritual development, your inner world for the month of April. So here we have the Five of Swords reversed, the Mother of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. You are done struggling. This right here reads to me like you have been in a fight or flight survival mode for a very long time. When this happens, when we get too used to being in that fight or flight survival mode, when we get too used to the stress, when it becomes the standard in our lives, we don't know how to recognize peace. And it can actually be a process and a journey, especially depending on if you've been through very traumatic situations. To rewire your nervous system to not need that cortisol, that stress, to not feel like something's wrong when that's missing, because your body ingrains it as the normal, and it's not. So you are letting go of the fight, and you are reaching a place of internal and external stability. Knowing yourself, knowing what you stand for, having a solid, stable ground to stand on. You've worked hard to build that up, and to create that both within yourself and outside of yourself. And it is going to lead to, this card is like the exact opposite of this card. It's going to lead to a calm, serenity, emotional fulfillment, a place of peace, of ease, of rest, emotionally, internally, that you've been seeking. So it's like you're overcoming your trauma responses this month, which is a really big deal. You're working on overcoming your trauma responses. You're working on overcoming the feeling that something always has to be wrong. You're learning that peace and calm is okay, is acceptable. You're becoming comfortable with it, and you're laying down your attachment addictions to that flight or fight mode that has been burning up all of the wrong chemicals in your brain for a long time. You're letting that go, and you're easing into your peace this month, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So if you want more detail, again, you can look at the Tarot Wheel of the Year that I'll link in the details and at the end of the video. I hope that this helps you for the month of April and that you enjoy this reading, and I will see you next time. Pile 2. All right, this is going to be your reading for April of 2023 if you chose pile 3. First, we're going to take a look at the outer sphere of career and public reputation. In this one, we have the 5 of Presents reversed, the 6 of Presents reversed, the 6 of Potions reversed, and the 8 of Needles or Swords reversed. So, man, there's been a lot of this for a lot of people in the career area lately. There's been a lot of turmoil here. You've been through that, but you are coming out of it. There's basically like a light at the end of the tunnel, or a little shimmer of light along the way at least, that's coming to you this month, but you need to be able to recognize it. And your calling is for self-care, to treat yourself, to take care of yourself, to give back to yourself just like you would to anyone else that you care about in your life. There is an element here of self-doubt and of feeling like you haven't done good enough or that you can't do good enough. There's also an element of nostalgia in the sense that is slightly unrealistic. Like you're looking at kind of like the golden years of the past or the golden dreams of the past that weren't necessarily really real. Oh, excuse me, there's an element of illusion there. So goodness, that snuck up on me out of nowhere there. Okay, so there's an element of illusion and deception here, and it is self-deception at its core. Maybe when you started out this career path, this project, this route that you were on, you had these very idealistic high hopes for it, and you feel like you have not lived up to that. You have not met those expectations or lived up to those expectations. The message here is you don't have to. You've gone through a lot of difficult times. You've given a lot of yourself and your energy to other people. Now is the time to take a slight reprieve from that, because this may be a continuing journey for you, but to at least take a slight reprieve in April from that, and to give back to yourself with some self-care, some self-love. And know that you're good enough. Know that you're doing good enough. That not everything has to be perfect, and nothing is going to live up to that idealized fantasy that we first set out with. So moving on to the slightly more inner circle, your close interpersonal relationships. For April, we have the 8 of Potions, the Ace of Candles reversed, and the Fool. So what we're getting from this is something, you got what you wanted, but it didn't end up being what you needed. Like you got something you wanted, but it wasn't what you expected. It's not all bad, but something feels like it went not right. And you have to actually go back to the beginning, to reassess and to kind of start over with fresh eyes, to figure out the solution to this problem, this thing that's just a little bit off. And it might not be a big problem. It might just be like a little thing, but it's very important not to just let it go, to kind of circle all the way back to the beginning, and address it with fresh eyes, and address it now, because this is still something that can be that is worth building forward on, and there are many good things in this area of your life, but there is something that feels a little off, and you need to circle back to the root cause, to find the root cause of that, and then address it with fresh eyes, and kind of come at it again, try to learn the lesson that you're meant to learn to grow from that. As far as your inner world, your core, yourself, your personal growth, spiritual development, Two of Candles, you have decisions to be made. The Sun. Again, you expected things to be and to feel a little bit better than they were. This reflects in both these cards and this here, in both areas of your life, of your career and your close interpersonal relationships. So you've expected things to be better than they seem to be right now, even though they're not bad. You expected better, and you have some important decisions to make regarding that. King of Presents, or coins or pentacles. You need to get your material affairs in order, get your head together, basically. Get a clear path forward. Practicality and planning are going to be key words for this, and things that are going to help you to navigate the situation that you're in now. 10 of Needles. There is a dead stop for something. There is something that is going to be a somewhat painful separation. And that might just be from your old ways of thinking, especially because needles are swords, and that is mental and thought. So it could be that you are having to let go of these idealized fantasies that you had, for things to line up and be perfect, and take a hard look at the reality that things aren't always perfect, but to be able to appreciate what you have and know that that's good, that's okay, that's right. And even when there are some things that are off, we can always circle back around, and come back and work on them and fix them and make the decisions that need to be made, and give ourselves that grace and that care that we need. But this is an internal lesson. And it's teaching you not to overthink, not to be so hard on yourself, not to idealize so much, and to know that it's okay if it all doesn't turn out perfect. Everything is a work in progress. It's going to be all the steps along the way. And then 4 of Candles. You may not feel like you're getting all of the support you need from the people around you. This is something that's going to be more on you, more up to you to step into your power, to make those decisions, and to learn the internal lessons. Like, nobody can help you learn these lessons. These are difficult lessons that you need to learn for yourself. And you may be feeling like there's a lack of support because of that. But in truth, it's because you have to do the work yourself. You just have to. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't take hold. It will still be a lesson that you'll have to circle back around and learn if you don't do it this time. So I hope that helps you, pile 3. If you would like to know how the zoomed in details of this month fit into the larger picture of your year and your spiritual growth journey, please check out my Wheel of the Year tarot video that I will link in the description and at the end of all of this. And I hope to see you next month. Thank you.